Look, I really hope you're doing the inner work with this because I'm giving you lots of information, but being able to apply it is what you need to do. And it's not like I'm giving you a whole lot of techniques because techniques is not necessarily what we're looking for here. There's a lot of different things that we can be able to do in the short term, but this is all a long term game. And mentally, you have to just rehearse your play and consume information until you emotionally program it into your DNA. Like this is your data board here that you're trying to take out and put in. Your container right now is full of a bunch of crap. Okay? Just empty it out. Just clean it out and put new stuff in. Literally. It's not a complicated process. You know, like there's breathing techniques and daily rituals in the morning that you can do. We're about to get into that just a little bit. But just hold on here because we have to find morality. Because a lot of the things that you are thinking right now, you know, if you're mentally ill, having some sort of health challenges with your mind, then you're thinking a lot of bad things. And you may even be tricking yourself into it. You may be thinking the worst thing possible and trying to pull yourself out of it to think, how fast can I get from this negative thought to a good thought? Okay? I was doing it, and it wasn't good thoughts. Believe me. So, in order to not trick your brain into thinking bad things or not thinking that everything is happening to you is bad, you have to somehow have a sense of optimism in your mind to be able to see things as good. Everything that happens to me is good. You have to remove cynicism, in which case you're not going to be seeing things as everybody has bad intentions. Everybody's going to hurt me. Oh my gosh, like what's going to happen? People aren't really out to get you, but you do have to be aware of those who are. And the ones who are going to be along the sides of people who were in the relationship that you were in with the specific traits that you are dealing with right now that you either have already gotten out of because you have safety or you have not and you are putting out boundaries to do your best to avoid that type of abuse, to avoid that type of relationship. And if you are still engaged in that relationship, then you're probably studying up on a lot of material about that type of abuse, and you're doing everything to be able to learn about what it is, why they're doing it to me, and what kind of outcome they want. And then you're trying to learn how to be able to shut them down and stop them from doing what they're doing. Like learning what is motivating them so that you can be able to cut it off. Because that's how you found your safety. And if you haven't found your safety yet, you definitely need to go back to the previous video or find techniques to be able to make things safe for you. Because setting boundaries is really key. Because if you don't set the boundaries, you can't get the control. And if you don't have the control, then you can't be able to get a better perception of your morality and reality. If you're in some sort of elusive state where you have put your mind into believing whatever you want to think is real and it's not, then crap. You got to do some more inner work and start getting in touch with reality, your senses. You have to feel things and get in tune with your emotions. That's like the biggest and most important thing, because your emotions are the things that are most real. They're literally the truth. Right now, your gut may even be clogged up with a ton of gunk because, your body, this is like the epitome for your health function center. And, if this is clogged up, then the rest of your body isn't going to permit the passageways for you to be able to feel your senses, your emotions, and everything. And if this is filled up with a bunch of gunk, then you're not getting the nutrition you need, and you're just not feeling right, okay? So, get some stuff that clears out your stomach. Look it up. There's some really good stuff like bentonite clay and psyllium husks. That was pretty good for me. That worked because I was filled up with candida, called candidiasis or candida overgrowth. And it's basically when um, these roots that are within your stomach, within your gut, the yeast ends up turning into this like solidified, growing fungus that attaches to the inside of your gut, and it literally plugs the holes and receptors of your gut that receives the nutrition, and it soaks up all of the ability to be able to receive. So because it's plugged, you have to get it to unplug so that your body receives. And then with that, it's like a leech. It's leaching all of the nutrition and stopping it from it being able to receive. So what you have to do is remove that and then open that up, and then it's going to bleed and have to heal and recover, and you have to give it enough time to heal and recover properly. And if you just consume a bunch of more bad stuff and put that into your system, it's just going to plug right back up again. So like it takes some work, and it's like you have to be addicted to your personal growth and your personal work and your diet, and you have to really only consume good things. Like everything that you put into you, food is the best medicine. Like food is the medicine for all. Like it says something similar into the Bible. I don't know the exact quote, but once you get that cleared out, then you can start to feel more in tune with your body. Like your gut is very important to safety. It's very important to, being able to gain control. It's so important. It's so important. So once again, bentonite clay, psyllium husks, like vinegar, um, what is it called? Apple cider vinegar, the raw organic kind. Drink that stuff in a ton of water, and just do a bunch of things that are going to help you, like grapefruit seed extract. This stuff is good. Put it in your water, like put 10 to 15 drops in your water, and you have to alkalize your body because basically you have an acidic environment that is breeding. And if you're putting a ton of sugar and dumping that into yourself, or a ton of starches, breads, rice, and all these things that are going to be more on a side that doesn't digest very well, it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for you at all. There were a lot of things that I had to take out of my diet, and in turn, I became more sensitive to it. More sensitive to things that were affecting me if I happened to take a little bit of it, because I stopped eating it. And I went and, I had to change everything I was eating. I made special recipes, and I just had to cut out the abuse because that was the biggest thing in the safety. So, this is supposed to be about morality. So, morality is the difference between right and wrong, what is just and unjust. Injustice is what we're trying to avoid and get more in tune with. And what's not right is your body attacking you. Your mind is attacking you. If you're allowing your mind to entrap you and trick you into thinking negative things, then you're gonna continuously lose the mental game, which is the epitome for all your health, man. I think it's very important to understand right from wrong, just as important as you understand, how to do this thing properly, put together like a mechanic this car and take it apart and put it back together. Like if you fail to do that, the car will explode when you drive it, or it will fall apart and stall. If you do not have a working car that is put together in the right way, then it will fall apart and stall. It's the same thing for your brain. Okay? You have to get the systems functioning right, meaning you have to get into alignment with what is actually right from what is actually wrong. And if you have a lifetime of wrong that you have experienced, somatically it's going to be there's going to be so many different traumas that bind you within your body that you're going to have blocked charges stored within your nervous system. And the past experiences that you had, you are literally going to shrink up when you experience that thing again. Oh, please don't hurt me. Please don't shout at me. And your shoulders are going to show that tenseness. Your body, listen to your body above all other things. This is about listening to your body and not your mind, okay? But you're trying to gain control of your mind because your mind can control your body. It's just that your body reacts 95% faster than your brain. So, I don't know if that statistic's right, but basically your body is super, 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 super fast, and it's going to react like that in opposition to your brain. Pretty sure it's close to accurate, though. And when that happens, you need to take notice of it. This is about giving notice, okay? And when you give notice to the things that are happening to you, this is about a lot more than, just your external environment. These are your internal forces that are at work. Everything is energy. So when it comes to morality, you're going to have to get a sense of what your actual values are and what are good values, what are bad. And you're going to have to consume this content that is going to help you grow. To really, really understand right from wrong, if you were treated very bad, you basically do the opposite. And I'm not saying the opposite of bad is always going to be right, but you're going to pursue the opposite of what you've been taught to do, or how you've been abused, how you've been treated. It is reprogramming yourself from a state of being a victim into being completely responsible for your life. You cannot continue to say it is your fault anymore. This is about me. I'm responsible for everything. This is regaining control. So getting a sense of morality means you literally have to take the time to communicate with people and ask them, what is good? What am I not doing right, and what am I doing right? But at the same time, you have to ask the right people. Once again, you don't want to take the perspective from the wrong people. And you're literally going to seek out from them not only feedback, but you're going to interview them. Literally, you're going to ask them questions about what motivates them. You're going to ask them questions about what are you good at? How did you come to get there? Why are you doing this? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you see as a problem in humanity? Like, how did you enjoy this conversation? What could I do better? This is all about improving. You're trying to add value to other people's lives. And to get a sense of morality, you have to understand that there is a gray in between. And to only see things as good or bad actually is going to screw your mind up. If you only focus on good or bad, things are only going to be black or white. And people can definitely manipulate and take advantage of the situation if you're only seeing things as black or white. You have to realize that there's an in-between medium that is gray that you can ask to discern these questions. Is what they are telling me, is what is happening to me, actually useful? Is what they are saying actually useful in its application? You see, for me personally, I had to go through a considerable amount of being able to connect with other people through sales. And when they would deny me so many times and say, no, 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 I had to find out what motivated them to say that. I had to try and convince them of my ideas. The whole thing was taking the sales process and prospecting to speak to the right people, building rapport and trust, being able to identify problems and find a solution, and then actually presenting my solution to them, and then being able to take that and then overcome their objections, and then being able to close the sale, and then being able to find referrals, and in turn being able to get the resale. That's a 7-step process for sales. That is very important. I would recommend learning sales because you have to convince other people of your ideas. That's how I did it. You're going to take the time to devote yourself to something that is work related. I won't leave that out of the picture, okay? You got to gain control. Then you're going to have to do something that you have control in your work. Be the best person there who's working their ass off, okay? Morality is at the heart of everything you do. And if you get mixed up between right and wrong instead of what is actually useful, you won't be able to filter things properly, because manipulation is a completely different thing. You're sitting on a wall that is white and the ground is black. And if you get off that wall, you're going to be touching a completely different zone. And people can tell you to get off the wall or to stay on it. And they can say, this is okay if you do it this way. And this is not okay if you do it this way. And they can say so many different variations of things that you might believe to be true or not. And a pretty good question to be able to filter that out is what they are saying, is what is happening, is this actually useful? And if it's useful, then maybe you can create your own decision from it. Okay, I'll go along with it. It's useful. All right. And from there, you learn from your decisions and you continue to do more things that are actually useful. And then you'll find the good. It's pretty simple. I think you'll get it. Ultimately, you're going to be seeking values that are just. And that gives you your morality. And when you find your morality, in turn, you're going to be able to find your identity. And that's what we're going to be talking about next.